Hi, I know that there's currently a video circulating as to what Solar has done and all the evidence associated with it, but there are new developments and some important thoughts that need to be shared. Moth and Cade told me that the call-out post I made did not need to be made into a video, but this is beyond my story and what happened with Solar, and it's the aftermath and some things I think everyone here needs to consider. Ab's document isn't fully correct. For one, it downplays and minimizes the severity of the sexual assault. Yes, it is normalized for teens to sexualize themselves, especially online, but that doesn't mean it's right, and that doesn't mean it should be happening. It's unhealthy, and it comes from a predatory society. I don't care how grown up you think or feel you are still a minor, and it is still incredibly inappropriate and dangerous to put videos like that out to an audience, be they children or adults. If, as you claim, it wasn't for kids, then if it was for adults, that's almost worse. As a minor, I promise that you don't need or want attention from adults like that. And what you did was incredibly dangerous. It might have inspired kids to do similarly dangerous things. I hope you understand at some point the danger of what you did beyond what I'm telling you, beyond what anyone else is telling you, like fully on your own. Come to the realization that you could have gotten severely hurt, and you might have severely hurt kids with the ways that you behaved and inspired them to behave. You are not responsible for anyone else's actions, but if a kid were to go, hey, Solar is doing this, I should do it too, and then was preyed upon, that would not feel great from the perspective of someone who inspired that person to do that. It's really dangerous, and even if you can't control who watches your videos, it's kind of your job as someone in the public eye to tailor your videos to anyone who might be watching, or to have warnings that say, hey, this is not appropriate for this kind of audience. But as a minor, you shouldn't be making that kind of content in the first place, and I think you know that. Second, the document conveniently leaves out the fact that Solar drank underage. This is harmful for many reasons. Number one, he glorified it. Number two, he drank to the point where he was no longer responsible for his actions and could not control his impulses. This is dangerous. This is not responsible drinking. Even as a teenager, there's no way to responsibly drink. It will do damage to your brain long term, no matter what. The decision-making part of your brain that develops rapidly as you go through your teenage years, that's the time when it's the most critical not to drink, not to do drugs, none of that. If you want that center of your brain to develop to its fullest extent and to be the healthiest long term. This has been proven time and time again in medical literature. Additionally, it is illegal in the state of Virginia. Getting blackout drunk has been shown to do damage to adult brains long term. Imagine the damage it does to the centers of your brain that control your movement and your decision making as a teenager. Solar himself admits that he did this and saying it's only a few times, but even one time is one time to get drunk too. It's also illegal to drink underage in Virginia, meaning that he allegedly, in Minecraft, committed a crime. To quote the Virginia Office of Attorney, I'm just going to read directly. Anyone, including your parents, who purchases for or otherwise gives, provides, or assists in the provision of alcoholic beverages to another person, knowing that the person is less than 21 years of age, is guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. If convicted, the court may order jail time for up to 12 months and or a fine of up to $2,500. The Code of Virginia, Section 4.1-306A1. Nobody said he did blackface. It's largely seen as racist/appropriative to use protective/protected hairstyles when you yourself don't have the hair texture or race. The communities tend to be pretty split on it, but we do know that he called people slurs about it, which is not a healthy or appropriate way to handle that situation. This might seem petty, but my conflict is listed as being ghosted, which is a half-truth. Solar didn't just ghost me, which would be stop talking to me forever. When I asked him why he didn't treat me like I was a friend anymore, He proceeded to rage on me, manipulate me, and gaslight me about it. So, a little bit got left off, and the whole resolved in private thing. Solar reached out to Happy, who asked if it was okay if Solar unblocked, and apologized. I consented, and Solar sent me an apology about ghosting me and taking his anger out on me. I sent him back this following message. We talked back and forth, and he minimized the allegations against him. I called his bluff on it, saying that there was evidence and that I had seen it, and I have been there for multiple of these situations. He said that he never intended to ruin my relationship with Happy, and he asked how he could fix the situation. I've been thinking. With what Solar has done, you cannot materially fix the harm that you've done. There isn't anything that'll pave it over, and the best way to move forward is to find a good, solid therapist and work through what's going on. If you need help, go to your primary care physician, tell them that you are struggling with your mental health and that you need someone to help guide you through that, and they will present you with at least some options. They have to. It's your legal right. Also, you should own up to what you did and apologize. There are a lot of Solar's fans who are defending him, saying that he did nothing wrong when he unequivocally did. He did those things. There are evidence. No one would call him out on a thing if there wasn't evidence involved. And there's a lot of evidence circulating. There are people who have called me a liar and threatened me. I deleted those comments because no one needs to see those or read those. But still, that's not a good way to handle the situation. And to have fans who are so deeply on your side that they are unwilling to admit your wrongdoings is unhealthy. Point blank. I know that this seems kind of condescending, but honestly, to anyone who is arduously defending Solar, he has admitted that he was wrong, especially to me. He says that he's sorry, but only in private, and he doesn't think what he did was right. So you should stop thinking that what he did was right. Next, I have a few questions for both Tab and Solar, and I want you to think on these. They don't need an explicit out loud answer, but you should be honest with yourself, and that should tell you how you feel about the situation. If you were not publicly called out for the way that you treated me, would you have apologized? Do you view your actions as inherently harmful in their impact, or because other people told you that they're harmful? If you were comfortable treating someone you considered a friend the way that you treated me, are you okay with that? If nobody had called you out, would you have changed your behavior at all? Do you want to change because you hurt people, or because you stand to lose something? None of those are accusations, and it should tell you if they do feel like an attack. And Tab, why do you feel the need to minimize the wrongdoings of your partner? He did some pretty terrible things, and he needs to own up to that, and he won't if you continue to just defend him arduously. Also seen people urging completely unrelated people for their statements, or giving personal opinions and tagging everyone. Please do not. Please only tag the people who are involved if you have new evidence with new allegations, or there is something incredibly important that we miss. We don't need 2 cents on it. We are just trying to figure out what's going on right now. All in all, this is a giant mess, and one I wished I had never gotten myself into. It is partially my fault. Solar Pause, if you have anything to say, I urge you to say it. If you're not directly involved, I urge you not to drag this out. If you are directly involved, I hope you find peace, joy, and happiness from the bottom of my heart. I also urge people not to paint anyone in this side as good or evil. It's incredibly nuanced. Both sides have done wrong, both sides have done right. And Solar is not a villain, he's not some inherently, purely evil person. None of us are inherently evil for calling him out. And I want you all to be careful with the way that you treat others. Do not send threats or harass or call anyone a liar in this situation unless they have actively said something that goes against the truth and you have evidence for that. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay kind, matter of these.